Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Amber. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be starting a 30-day water challenge. Alright, so it's not so much of a challenge as just actually drinking the recommended amount of water every day, which I definitely do not do. I typically only drink water when I'm like at a restaurant and they are just physically putting it in front of my face. Otherwise, I just forget that water exists and don't drink anything. So pretty much I am just in a constant state of dehydration. Like, I can't tell you the last time that I was actually hydrated because I really do not know. I get headaches all the time, my body is always sore, my skin is gross, it is impossible for me to lose weight, and while water is not a one drink fix all type solution, I definitely want to see if it helps any of this. Some of the benefits of staying hydrated and drinking the recommended amount of water every day include headache relief, improved mood, fatigue relief, boosted energy levels, flush out toxins, improved digestion, weight loss promotion, kidney stone prevention, immune system boosting, complexion improvement, hangover prevention, back pain alleviation, and body temperature regulation. Health professionals' opinions differ slightly with what they think the average person should be drinking every day. However, the age-old opinion is typically that you should be drinking 8-ounce glasses of water, which is approximately equivalent to 64 ounces or 2 liters every day. On a more specified scale, though, it is recommended that you drink half an ounce to a full ounce of water per pound that you weigh. So as an example of that, if you weigh 150 pounds, you want to be drinking 75 to 150 ounces of water every day. I personally am going to be doing a combination of these two methods where I'm going to be aiming to get at least 64 ounces of water in every day, but the goal is to get the maximum amount recommended for my body weight, which I'm not going to be sharing today because nobody needs to be comparing body weights. I do, however, know what my current body weight is. However, I do not own a scale, so we will not be doing weekly weigh-ins or anything like that. I'll just be doing like a final weigh-in at the end of the month to find an approximate difference in weight, if there even was any. I might not lose any weight at all. I will also be basing results on body measurements that I will be taking, as well as skin appearance and just overall like how I'm feeling physically. Any changes that I notice throughout the month or any moods that I have, I will be documenting in the vlogs that follow this intro. So with all that being said, let's get started. Alright, so day one, we're good, we're going strong. I completed and got 80 ounces of water total yesterday, and quite frankly, this was harder than I thought it was going to be. So it's day two. I am here trying to edit a video, and because of all this water I'm drinking, I have to pee so bad. And I like continuously have to pee. This is It is day 10 of my 30-day water challenge. We're a third of the way through. So I've managed to get at least 64 ounces of water every day. So far, I have not been able to reach the medium goal, which is the half your body weight equivalency in ounces, or the full body weight equivalency in ounces. I've yet to get more than 72 ounces of water in a day because it's a lot more work than I was expecting. Like, pretty much I have to drink water consistently throughout the day. I have had to pee so much this past week and a half. Like, I have peed more this past week and a half than I have all year, it feels like. And it feels like pretty much as soon as I drink the water, I kind of immediately almost have to use the restroom. And I almost kind of feel like I'm going more than I'm drinking water. So I don't know how hydrated I'm actually staying, because that, it's kind of excessive. And I feel like I'm not retaining any of the water like you probably should be. I do feel like so far, it's kind of flushing my system of toxins. Again, TMI, but for science, my pee has been completely clear since the second day of the challenge. And it hasn't had any hint of color for the past week and a half. So that's a positive sign. Because I learned in 6th grade camp, they're like, oh, your pee should be clear, so if you're not, you're dehydrated. And that's just always, I'm until now, I'm kind of it's impossible for your pee to be clear. What the hell? No, it's very possible. You just have to drink a ton of water and be peeing constantly. I think I'm definitely hydrated. I've been getting a few less headaches, I think. It's been a few days since I've had one at all. So that's really nice, because I was kind of at a point where I was getting them almost daily. But I've definitely had less headaches than I was regularly having. I don't know if I've noticed a difference with my skin. I mean, I have, but only because I feel like I was having kind of a nasty breakout when I did, when I started the challenge. And when I did the first video, I was in the midst of a breakout, which I forgot to film before footage of my face. So we'll kind of just have to base it on regular footage. Sorry about that. But my skin is definitely better than it was, but it's not magically different, it's not oh, this is the magical cure for acne and skin and all that. I'm kind of just okay, my breakout stopped. For these videos, I kind of want to just keep one factor different so we can actually narrow down if that's what's helping or if it was something else random that I changed about my lifestyle. So for the most part, I just already only drank water, which essentially meant I didn't drink anything because I didn't drink water hardly at all. Also, I feel bad because I don't think I filmed an update since the first or second day of the challenge. It was because I had an IUD implanted, and so I've been feeling like crap for the past couple of days. And again, that might be TMI for some of y'all, sorry. Oh, you know what? I didn't think about this, but that could affect slightly my results of the water challenge. That's okay. I mean, we're still going to do that. We'll just have to keep that in mind. So far, I have managed to get my minimum goal of 64 ounces every day. There have been like 3 or 4 days where I've been able to get more than that, but I think I greatly underestimated how much water exactly my medium and maximum goals were. Pretty much, with me consistently drinking water throughout the whole day, I am just barely making the 64 ounces. Unfortunately, I wanted to like try and eliminate any other factors, so like I haven't changed any other parts of my lifestyle, so like we could just get an exclusive, oh, what's the water doing? But I forgot that I was getting an IUD implant the second week of my challenge, so that's kind of thrown off my perception of like how my body is feeling. That, and then 2, I am currently sick, so no matter how hydrated I've been keeping, I still just feel terrible. Hopefully I'll be able to hone down the effects of the water closer to the end of the challenge. The only thing I've been noticing, still continue to just be constantly peeing, so that's fun. I'm peeing like a dozen times a day. Insert John Mulaney bit here. No, and I'm not actually going that often, but it feels like it. And there may have been a day or 2 where I got close because I just drank so much water. Like, I would have assumed after a little over 2 weeks of doing the challenge, my body would have gotten used to it and been like, hey, okay, we're gonna be hydrated from now on. Like, we can stop peeing so much and actually absorb some of the water. Because, like, I'm, like, sorry, TMI, but, you know, for science, I have been peeing so much that it feels like I'm just completely getting rid of anything I'm intaking in my body, liquids-wise, if not more. And I'm like, okay, shouldn't, like, my cells be absorbing some of this water? Like, shouldn't I be noticing the hydration? Like, I almost wonder if I, like, kept myself dehydrated for so long that my body, like, does not want to accept the water, because it's like, I don't know what the fuck to do with this. I'm actually really excited because I'm finally actually starting to notice a difference. For one, my headaches have more or less like gone away. I haven't had one in at least like 2 weeks, if not longer. So I'm stoked because 1, I realized that. 2, I think my skin is getting a little bit better. Like, I haven't had any major breakouts since I have started the challenge. Like, I was in the middle of one when I first started, and like after the first week, it went away. And I haven't had more than like 1 or 2 little ones here and there. I mean, I still have like, I'm always gonna have acne, but I think it has been helping because 2, like, I feel like just with how hydrated I am and how many times I have fucking peed this month, like, I've flushed out any toxins left in my system. Another thing is, like, I haven't noticed many mood swings or, like, you know, vast differences in mood. Like, I've kind of just been pretty neutral the past couple of weeks, and my energy levels have been a little bit better. Like, I'm not quite as sluggish and lethargic. You know, whenever I have to like go take my dog out on a walk, I'm not completely bitter about it. I'm like, okay, yeah, like, let's go do this. I don't know if I've been noticing any like physical appearance changes other than like my skin, but I don't know if I've lost any weight or not, but I kind of don't really care. Because, like, that wasn't necessarily the goal of this challenge. And I feel like that's kind of what I made it sound like at the very beginning. But that was just one of the ways I'm like, okay, that's, you know, a physical, like, thing that I can analyze with data. Whereas, you know, the rest of the benefits of water is more perceived to like how it's affecting your mood or your body, but not so much that I could like present a difference in video. So that's why I was kind of focusing more on like weight loss slash size difference at the beginning, but that's not the goal of this video. The goal was to actually be hydrated for once in my life and to see if it helped my body physically feel any better. Simply because this has been like the main thing of the challenge. I still have been continuing to pee more than I feel like I should be if my body were actually retaining the water and absorbing the moisture. But I am not peeing as often as I was the first couple weeks of the challenge. So I think my body is slowly getting used to being hydrated. Because, too, like, it has been literal years since I've been hydrated properly and, like, consistently. So it's going to take my body a while to get used to and to not be like, oh, this isn't just a temporary, like, you decided to drink water for a day. Like, it's a consistent, I've been trying to stay hydrated. I have managed to get, at the very least, my minimum goal of 64 ounces every day so far. The past week or so, I've been really good about it and been getting more than 64 ounces. All right, so I finally missed one of the days of the water challenge, only because I ended up going last minute to the Back to the Beach festival up in Huntington, and I did not drink enough water. I did have water throughout the day. Like, I definitely had 2 water bottles worth, I think. So I had some. I just did not have up to 64 ounces because I did not want to be in the middle of the crowd and then have to, like, go pee during the middle of a band's set. We did it. We finished the 30-day challenge. It has been a month now. I have drank at least 64 ounces of water every day, except for when I went Back to the Beach Fest, but that's fine, totally worth it. So I guess what most people are wondering are what the results of the challenge were, what changed, what didn't, was it worth it, all that jazz. I will start with, we'll do clips of what my body looks like after. There's not really that much of a difference visibly, I don't think, but I also based results off of body measurements. So I took a whole series of measurements before I started the challenge, and then I took the measurements again as soon as I finished the challenge. And there was some difference. I wasn't expecting there to be any because I feel like visibly I haven't lost or gained any weight. But like I mentioned earlier, that wasn't necessarily the goal of the challenge. That was just one way my brain was like, oh, we can give data and results to see if there's any difference. I took various measurements of my biceps, bust, waist, umbilicus, hips, thighs, neck, calves, ankles, my tummy pooch, and my booty. And there was a bit, everything was either the same that it measured before or slightly smaller, which is cool. There's results. Most notably, my bust, like the boobies, were 1/2 inch smaller than they were when I started the challenge, which, thank God they can go. I don't want them. And some other notable measurements were my tummy pooch. I lost 1/2 inch on that, so that is always the goal for me. Like, I don't mind being a plus size person, but that just makes it so much harder for clothing to fit. So like, if that could GTFO, that would be great. The most dramatic difference was 1.5 inches off of my butt, which, I mean, I like my booty, so like, I'll miss you, but so be it, you know. There were slight differences in some of the other measurements, not really notable, and kind of, you know, there's room for error in how and where exactly I measured. So approximately I lost about 3 to 4 inches overall, my whole body, give or take a few because of natural weight and size fluctuations and, you know, possible discrepancies in where and how I measured. I tried to be as accurate and as close to the original measurements I took as possible, but you know, there's slight room for error. I am mostly excited about like how my body is feeling, you know. Like I've mentioned throughout this video, I haven't been this hydrated years, ever, maybe. I've never, you know, had water being a priority, and I didn't really know what I was missing, because now that I have drank in that much water, like, yeah, it was definitely a pain in the ass. And even after a month, my body still isn't completely used to it. So I'm still peeing fairly frequently, and that's annoying, but I'm at the point where like, it's fine. It's not super inconveniencing to me because I have a bathroom readily available. It would be hard if I had like an in-person full-time job, or if I went to school. That would make things a little bit more difficult, but still not a reason to not do it. Like, you can definitely work around it. You know, take bathroom breaks, you know, hold it in, do your Kegels, whatever. But no, I've definitely noticed a difference. If anything, like, my energy levels have been hella, like, I have had so much more energy than I have. And two, I mean, part of it could be attributed to like whether I'm in a depressive versus manic episode, but even so, when I am like more manic, which, another thing, emotional stability, like, I haven't really had many mood swings like I usually do, and I haven't really felt, you know, more depressive or manic. Like, I've kind of just been at that like sweet spot where I'm more or less okay, and like on the upside of okay. But yeah, no, my energy levels, like, I don't mind going and doing physical activity. Like, and I never would mind before. It's not the physical activity that I was opposed to, it's just that I was feeling like crap all of the time. So the more physical activity I did, the more like crap I would feel. Whereas now I'm like feeling okay, and it's not that bad. I don't mind taking my dog on a walk, and I don't mind leaving the house, and that's all good. I feel like I'm being endorsed by water. I'm like the spokesperson, like, this isn't sponsored. It's not like I'm like, oh, the results are great. I mean, yeah, the results are great, but it's not like I'm using a product. It's just water, you know, 70% of our bodies and the earth is made out of it, you know. It's been here the whole time. I'm just, you know, joining the game apparently. I'm stoked. I definitely think that there has been, like, over the whole course of the month, I definitely think that the benefits are real. Maybe not necessarily all of them, and not to the extent that like Instagram and Pinterest and the internet will lead you to believe. Like, no, you know, I didn't lose 100 pounds, you know, drinking water. It wasn't a major weight loss thing, and it wasn't like, oh, all of my acne went away, but it definitely did go down, and it's a bit more controllable at the moment. We'll do a close-up. You know, acne-wise, like, no, not all of my acne went away, but I feel like my complexion definitely is a little more even than I am used to it being, and I'm not currently broken out at all, and I haven't had any major breakouts throughout the whole month, other than I think when I started the month. I believe I was currently in the midst of a breakout, and then that, you know, went down and went away, and I haven't had one since. But no, I would definitely recommend this challenge to anyone, or at least if you can't, you know, do the challenge, because it is a lot. There's definitely a lot. Like, it is a lot. You have to be consistently drinking water throughout the day to even get to the 64 ounces, let alone half your body weight or your full body weight, depending on like what size you are. You know, if you're a smaller person, then it's not going to be that hard to get to those levels, whereas if you are a larger or more plus size person, it is more difficult. But still, you should try. But yeah, so if you are considering doing this, I would very highly recommend it. At least being conscious of when you are or aren't drinking water. And so if you're, you know, if your energy levels are off, or if you're in a really bad mood, I mean, obviously there are so many other factors that could go into it. But if it's something that is regular for you, definitely think and be like, wow, am I really drinking the amount of water that I should be drinking, or do I need to work on getting more? And even if you can't get the full amount, like, any water is better than no water. At least try and stay like somewhat hydrated. Oh, shit, okay. We're gonna go back because, sorry, I'm trying to recall, like, what are the things that I wanted to actually improve? Headaches was one thing that encouraged me to start the challenge, and one thing that I specifically mentioned at the very beginning was, at the time, I was getting headaches just about daily. And over the course of the month, I noticed, like, the first week I was still getting headaches, and then that slowly started going down. So I haven't had a headache in, I can't even remember how long. I haven't had a headache. I've been so stoked about that, because it was seriously getting to the point where it was every day. And when you have a headache every day, like, you don't want to do anything when you have a headache. You don't want loud noises. You don't want super bright lights. You know, it's all manageable, but no, headaches are just a bitch. They're annoying. And so the fact that I can't even remember the last time that I had one is so amazing. Like, I am so stoked. 2, I don't know if I had any like specific weight difference, because I do not have access to a scale, and I kind of don't really care to go looking for one. I do know what my weight was at the very beginning of the challenge, and about a week or 2 into the challenge, I had a doctor's appointment, so I got my updated weight, and the difference was about 5 pounds less. Like, I had lost 5 pounds, but that could also just be attributed to, like, you know, natural weight. Like, you could fluctuate, you know, up to 10 pounds easily for, you know, have you eaten that day, or are you on your menstrual cycle, or XYZ. So that's not like really a major indicator. And then 2, it's been like 2 or 3 weeks since that measurement, or since that weight was taken. So I could have gone back up, or I could have gone down. I don't know, and I kind of don't really care at this point. I don't need any more like number results to be like, oh yeah, this worked or this didn't work. Because based on how I am physically feeling, I know that this was beneficial to me in my life. So I don't need a number on a scale to tell me, hey, this helped or didn't help or whatever, because like I said, you know, the goal wasn't necessarily to lose or, you know, change weight. So yeah, anyways, I would definitely recommend to everybody watching this video to, you know, be conscious of how much water you're drinking, and definitely try and stay hydrated, if not for your body's physical needs, but for, you know, your mental and emotional needs. At least, you know, have a water bottle's worth of water every day, preferably multiple water bottles worth of water every day, preferably reusable water bottles and not plastic water bottles, so we can save our earth. But yeah, so just be conscious of what you are or are not drinking. Work on staying hydrated and healthy, everyone. Thank you for watching my month's adventure. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I had a blast.